then I go.
Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, as I have seen, is a game that you would either love or hate, depending on your taste and history with the franchise. If you are more focused on the feel and looks of the game, you're most definitely going to like it. If you are more focused on the plot and storyline of the game, you might dislike the game and find it rather confusing. In my opinion, I don't enjoy the game, especially the plot. You'll see why in a bit. I'm going to split this video into three categories: gameplay, bugs, and the storyline. Let's begin. I really love the fact that while you progress through the entire game, the animatronics start to decay and break down. It really shows that you're progressing through the game and are slowly but surely destroying the animatronics. Another thing that I love was the fact that there is a lot of attention to detail. For example, if you walk around enough, you can find older posters of the FNAF games. Though there are a lot of issues to the gameplay, one of the bigger problems would be the amount of fetch quests there are. They could get repetitive way too quickly, and some require you to go across the pizzaplex to retrieve an item, and bring it all the way back to where you started.
This fetch quest freaking mission, bro. Gotta go to Monty Golf, to go to Major Sites, to go back to the daycare, to come back to the Major Sites, to go back to Monty Golf.
Another big issue with the gameplay is the way you defeat these animatronics is very, very mediocre. Other than Monty. The way you defeat Chica is by obtaining some bait, placing it inside of the trash compactor, and hiding it behind a counter. The cutscene plays, and Chica gets crushed by the compactor. This doesn't really feel like a battle. The way you defeat Roxanne is by doing a couple of fetch quests to place a robot head onto the headless robot inside of the cart. After placing the head on, a cutscene plays where Roxanne spots you and jumps on the racetrack to stop you like an absolute retard. You jump out of the vehicle and it runs into Roxanne. This just doesn't feel like a battle at all. All you did was do a couple of fetch quests, and all of a sudden you just defeat Roxanne? Another thing to point out is that these battles are supposed to feel rewarding, yet they really aren't. For Roxanne, actually, it's quite the opposite. After you have defeated her, instead of having a relief that you don't have to deal with another animatronic, it gets even harder. Now, she doesn't have any eyes, so it makes it impossible for you to stun her with your alien gun. In addition, instead of chasing after you, she turns into a frog and leaps at you. The only battle that actually felt like a battle was fighting against Montgomery Gator. The whole starting scene for the fight was actually extremely cool, other than him randomly destroying that toy turret. That costs money, bro.
Rock and roll!
The whole battle is you shooting balls out of the toy turrets into the splash bucket, which, when filled up, will give you access to the button that dumps the bucket. Pressing the button activates the scene in which the bucket falls over on Monty, breaking the platform below him. The greasy green bastard takes some fall damage and is now out of there. Now for the minor gameplay issues that I have. One is that most of the collectibles have no purpose and hold no value whatsoever in the game, other than the collectibles you need to progress. Most of the duffel bag collectibles also have no purpose. Some of them say that there were missing children inside of the pizzaplex, but that's really about it. It doesn't really give any good lore. Another would be the Freddy Titanfall mechanic. I think overall it is pretty cool, but going inside of the suit just makes the game 10 times easier. There is no way you could possibly die inside of Freddy, other than if he runs out of battery. I thought it would have been cool that if Vanessa caught Freddy, she would tell him to go back to his room and, which she would run out of her range and you could continue playing. Just to add on to that difficulty for Freddy, since it is literally peaceful mode once you enter him. And speaking of Freddy running out of battery, why does he kill you once he runs out of juice? Imagine a group of people talking to Freddy, and all of a sudden he runs out of battery, and starts going on a rampage killing everyone. Also, why don't the other animatronics run out of battery? When it comes to bugs, Security Breach has a lot of them. They're all about the bugs. Some of them are extremely goofy, while other bugs could potentially break the game and ruin your run.
We're gonna go down to parts and services, and I'm gonna shove a beak inside of you, and you are going to be able to talk better. Did you hate the idea that much?
One of the sillier bugs would be the subtitles not working properly.
Handsomeness. That's not what you said.
The subtitles would say one thing, but the voice lines would be completely different. Not sure if this one is a bug, but the staff bot's animations are like Google slide presentations. Even if it was intentional, it wouldn't feel right in a game where everything else has a much higher frame rate. You could even make Moon constantly walk into an object while you look around for the remaining generators. You could also entirely skip cutscenes and glitch the game by turning down the voice volume.
Oh, you can turn off dialogue? Oh, just muting it glitches the game. Holy shit. Okay, that's cool.
One of the silliest bugs is if you have a garbage performance, like an absolute terrible performance on the game, and you enter Freddy, everything becomes black and the only visible objects are the doors, which means you could walk through the walls and fall through the floors. You could skip entire levels just by turning ray tracing on and your graphics to max. With all of these bugs, people have speedrun the game in less than 4 minutes.
What did you get? What did you get?
31188.
Oh my god.
One of the more problematic glitches is that there are random chances where Chica could run through the security door, which is supposed to keep animatronics out.
So the door doesn't door?
Clicking anything other than the correct color in the memory game automatically kills you. I can understand if you clicked on the wrong color, it is pretty much how the game works. But just clicking the metal board itself would also kill you. You could also get stuck in a never-ending elevator, forcing you to reload the game, and possibly making you break your own monitor that was already pre-destroyed by the 80 gigabytes of storage that the game took up. This, in my opinion, is the biggest flaw the game has. The storyline makes little to no sense, especially the endings. You are a boy named Gregory that has been trapped inside of the Pizzaplex that made the stupid decision to crawl into Freddy's chest for no reason. Freddy tries to help and tells you to go to the security guard so you could leave the building, but Gregory absolutely refuses because she is trying to get him, which kinda makes no sense. Why doesn't he want to be caught and escorted out of the building? He would rather go through hours of going through animatronics trying to hurt him than for him to get kicked out by a security guard that has poor eyesight in less than 2 minutes. And it makes even less sense because all of the animatronics are trying to hurt him other than Freddy. I know that in all FNAF games during the night, the animatronics become hostile and attack humans. But in this game, it doesn't explain why Glamrock Freddy isn't hostile. Why aren't any of the animatronics trying to attack the other human, Vanessa? With that being said, let's talk about the endings. There are currently 6 endings in the game, each one making my hairline curl back, the true ending being an exception. The rooftop ending was good, up until the point where Freddy tackles Vanity off of the roof and falls off with her. I was thinking to myself, why couldn't Freddy just grab Vanity and throw her off the roof? But I realized that Freddy said that animatronics weren't programmed to hurt anyone. That being said, why would Freddy tackle Vanity? Gregory runs down the steps and goes over to Vanity to reveal who she really is. And oh my god, it's Vanessa. Who would have known? It's not like Freddy hinted to this prior to the ending, but just before the cutscene ends, it pans to the rooftop that is lit up in flames, and another Vanessa appears. How is there 2 Vanessas? Maybe there's a cloning machine inside of the Pizzaplex that I didn't know about. The good ending is a really goofy one. Gregory somehow finds a car with the keys inside of them. What are the chances of that happening? Finding a car with the keys already inside of it that's just bizarre. Gregory also knows how to drive a car. Keep in mind he is 10 to 12 years old, and by God, he is probably one of the smartest kids that I know. Because once Freddy loses his battery life, Gregory knows how to charge him using the car's battery. I am older than this kid, and I don't even know how to do that. The Disassemble Vanity ending is weird because when Vanity says to disassemble Freddy, all of the staff bots rush to Freddy like he's a wanted criminal and starts tearing him apart, which really got me questioning, who designed this remote? If a child got a hold of this remote, they could easily just start calling out names and the staff bots will start terrorizing the whole place. The best ending is actually the worst ending story-wise. Gregory picks up Freddy's head and starts heading out of the Pizzaplex instead of ending Vanity's life. Before he leaves, however, he sees Vanessa entering the Pizzaplex and they enjoy the ice cream together. How does this make any sense at all? You're telling me the person that was trying to catch Gregory, the person that Gregory was trying to avoid and disliked, was now hanging out with him and enjoying a good ol' ice cream. This ending makes me so confused. The bad ending is just you leaving the Pizzaplex and Vanny finding you. The true ending is the only ending I actually liked. You're in another security office trying to protect yourself by closing doors and the vents. You click the buttons corresponding to the TV where Springtrap is at to set him ablaze so he can't take control of Freddy. It is the only ending where you really do anything, and you get to see William Afton again. Hey buddy. Oh, bye I guess. Freddy and Gregory both run out of the Pizzaplex while the whole building burns and falls apart. At last, it ends with one of the most beautiful scenes I have ever witnessed in any game. In the end, FNAF Security Breach isn't that bad of a game, but could definitely improve a lot with its bugs and story. It was a good idea that wasn't executed the best. I loved the attention to detail, some of the gameplay, and how Freddy had some character development.
I will miss you.
With all of that out of the way, I appreciate you for watching the video until the end. Goodbye.